Title: The Serpent's Web. In a hidden valley nestled among towering mountains, there once thrived an ancient civilization known as the Vicari. They were a people of incredible ingenuity and a deep connection to the natural world, but they were also bound by a dark and eerie tradition. For centuries, they had worshipped a serpent made of woven branches, a creature of neon green that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. The serpent, known as Serapis, was not a living being, but a colossal sculpture that stood at the center of the Vicari village. Its coiled body reached dizzying heights, and its glowing green scales emitted an ethereal light that bathed the entire valley in an eerie glow. The Vicari believed that Serapis was their protector, their guardian against the malevolent forces that lurked beyond the mountains. Generations had passed since Serapis was first woven together by the Vicari's ancestors, and the serpent's influence had only grown stronger with time. The people of the valley became devout followers, their lives revolving around offerings and prayers made to the serpent. They believed that Serapis bestowed blessings upon them in return, ensuring bountiful harvests and protection from harm. But as the years passed, a shadow crept over the valley. The once vibrant civilization now lived in perpetual fear, their lives controlled by an unseen force. Their minds had become a tangled web of obedience and devotion, all thanks to the insidious influence of Serapis. Then, one fateful day, a stranger arrived in the valley. His name was Kyle, a wanderer and a warrior, with eyes that gleamed with an unquenchable thirst for adventure. His arrival sent ripples of curiosity and unease through the Vicari village, for they had long been isolated from the outside world. Kyle approached the village cautiously, his senses alert to the peculiar energy that permeated the valley. He marveled at the radiant serpent, Serapis, and the people who moved in a trance-like state around it. As he mingled with the Vicari, Kyle learned of their plight. They told him of the serpent's hold over their minds, of the dreams and nightmares that plagued their sleep, and of the relentless urge to offer tribute and prayers to Serapis. The once prosperous civilization now lived in fear and bondage. Determined to free the Vicari from the serpent's grip, Kale spent weeks studying their customs and learning about the mystical forces that sustained Serapis. He discovered that the source of the serpent's power lay within the heart of the valley, a hidden chamber where the weavers of old had infused their creation with a dark and powerful enchantment. One moonless night, as the valley lay shrouded in darkness, Kale embarked on his perilous mission. Armed with a blade forged from ancient steel and guided by the whispers of the wind, he journeyed to the heart of the valley. The path was treacherous, lined with ominous symbols and traps meant to deter intruders. Finally, he reached the chamber where Seraphis's true form was concealed. The sight that greeted him was both mesmerizing and terrifying. The neon-green serpent, woven with intricate detail, seemed to writhe and pulse with a sinister life of its own. It was a testament to the weaver's dark artistry, a creation of both beauty and malevolence. Kale's heart pounded as he drew his blade, knowing that the serpent would not relinquish its power willingly. He approached Serapis cautiously, his every step met with a hiss that echoed through the chamber. As he raised his blade, the woven branches of the serpent's body seemed to twist and contort, as if in agony. The battle that ensued was otherworldly. Serapis unleashed its power, conjuring vines that lashed out like living serpents, attempting to ensnare Kyle. But he fought with unwavering determination, his blade slicing through the neon-green scales with each strike. As Kale's blade pierced the heart of Serapis, the chamber trembled, and the serpent let out an ear-piercing scream that reverberated through the valley. Its once glowing eyes dimmed, and the eerie light that had bathed the Vicari village faded away. Back in the village, the Vicari awoke from their trance, their minds finally free from Seraphis's influence. They blinked in confusion, disoriented and terrified by the sudden silence that had replaced the serpent's constant whispers. As the first rays of dawn broke over the mountains, Kyle emerged from the chamber, victorious but weary. The Vicari gathered around him, their expressions a mix of gratitude and awe. They were finally free from the serpent's web of control, and they hailed Kyle as their hero. But Kyle knew that the battle was not truly over. The Vicari had been freed from the darkness, but the valley itself remained tainted by the centuries of worship and sacrifice. With a heavy heart, he bid the grateful people farewell, promising to return one day to ensure that the shadow of Seraphis would never again fall over their land. As he left the valley, Kale carried with him the knowledge that some stories are not meant to be forgotten, that the allure of power and the fear of the unknown can bind even the most resilient spirits. He hoped that the Vicari would remember the cautionary tale of the neon-green serpent and the hero who dared to challenge its dark dominion, and that they would forge a new path, free from the enchantments of the past.